having had a midweek game and a bit of a test. How are you looking in terms of coming into this week's game? I imagine a free week would have been ideal, really.
Yeah, it was always going to be tough. The away games, going to Newport, going to Exeter. You look at the fixture and you think, if we get something from them, we'll do well. But the main thing overall, I think we said after 10 games, if we look at it after 10 games, if we can get a win Saturday and end up, I think we'd average about 1.5 points a game. That would be about where we'd be happy to be at the moment. If we can carry that on till the rest of the season, then it puts us in a decent position in and around the playoffs. So, say we forget what's gone and we just concentrate on Saturday's game now, and hopefully if we can get the result, we're in a decent position.
I suppose in terms of a manager's point of view, you've got to try and look at where your squad's up to and where you get to at this point in the season, and then just try and work out the positives, I suppose, don't you?
Yeah, there's been a lot of positives. I think games that early on we could have won. Even the Newport and the Exeter game, I think if a bit more concentration, we could have come away with something. For the Exeter game goal, the first goal, there's about 4 mistakes, and which is disappointing. And you think, come away from there, haven't played great, but we've limited them to very few opportunities, and you settle with a point. But we just move on from it now, and hopefully we learn as we go along, and just try and keep getting better.
David Worrell talked about the other day about you being a different breed at home. I mean, when you see the players in training, when they're preparing for home games and away games, is there a difference there, or do they feel much more confident when they're coming out here when they go to away matches?
I hope not, because we want a team that competes home and away. We said how important it is to win our home games, but we've got to pick points away from home as well, as it puts pressure on you to win all your home games. So, no, I would like to think we've got enough character about us that when we go away, we can compete and start getting some wins.
The injury situation, I think, has been fairly unique. How much of a test is it for you when you look at that injury list and you see, right, he's out? I know you've strengthened the squad, but it still must be difficult from the management team's perspective to try and pick a team that will come in if they've not played much football.
Yeah, it's difficult, but we played Plymouth. We had to make 3 changes early on, and we get a result. We go to Exeter, we had to make changes, and although we've not played fantastic, we've more than held our own. So when it becomes hard is when you've got to start playing people out of position, and that was a bit of the case, obviously with Kieran having to go to full-back. That's what you don't want to happen. But whatever the situation, then we've got more than enough to compete. So I'm not looking for excuses. The players shouldn't look for excuses. Whoever goes on that pitch has got to show that they want to play for Port Vale and play every week. So whoever goes out, we expect to get a result.
How does that treatment room look at the minute? I know there's a couple of longer term ones. I know, don't smile, but there's a couple of longer term ones. But I imagine it's not good for someone.
No, it's gone from being empty, apart from Manny, who's got a season ticket there. So, no, it's gone from being empty to obviously full. And at the moment, I think we've got about 5 or 6. So disappointing that we've lost so many all at once, but it does give opportunities to others.
Without giving too much away, where are some of them up to now? And I know David Amu and James Gibbons you were hopeful for Saturday.
Yeah, I think David's there or thereabouts. James needs an injection, so we'll see how he goes. And as I say, Manny should be fit next week, and the rest we just got to wait and see. Rhys Brown's struggling; he might be available, but we won't know until today. So no, it's we'll just see this morning when they finish with Chris, and then we'll pick the team from there then.
I know you were keen to strengthen in the summer, and it kind of bears that philosophy out now, haven't you? Because even though this has all come at once, it's exactly the type of emergency that you prepared for in the summer.
Yeah, it's with the transfer window as it is, you've got to now. You know, we've not got a huge squad, but what I tried to do is get, you know, people in each position, people who could play if somebody's out. But the problem is that there's two people out in one position, and then that can cause you a problem. But no, as I say, we've got more than enough to compete. So that's all I concern myself with. There's players who are fit, making sure that they're right for Saturday's game.
Mansfield come here obviously on the back of a bit of a hiding. When you see a team like that is one of the favourites, but then they're struggling, how do you prepare for that? Because I suppose, do you not know what you'll get from them?
Well, I don't think they got a hiding. They went down to 10 men and conceded in the last sort of 10 minutes. And the footage that you watched, they were the better team on the night and should have won the game really. So you know, they've lost the last two. Obviously they'll be under pressure because they're expected to be up the top with the budget that they've got. But it's always going to be difficult against teams like Mansfield. But as we saw last season when we played them when they were flying, that if we're at our best, then we're more than capable of beating them.
Again, I suppose it's a matter of taking the positives from those games, isn't it? Because you know you can beat them, and irrespective of the amount of money they've spent on the squad, like you say, you've got character in that team to be able to go out there and match them.
Yeah, and I think we've got good players as well. You know, it's not as though they've got players who are, you know, sort of way above the standard that we're playing in. They haven't. You know, we're more than a match. If you look at each player individually, then there's not a great deal of difference between the two teams. So on the day, and we know playing here that we've got an advantage. So hopefully we can use that.
And just finally then, you've had a pretty tough start, I think, by anybody's stretch of the means when you looked at the fixtures on paper. Has it been as tough as you perhaps anticipated when you got the fixture list and looked at it, or maybe more so?
I don't look at it in that way. I think every game, you can play against a good side and they can have an off day. So if you go into games thinking, oh, they're great, they're not so good, then you're going to have problems. When you go to a place like Morecambe, it sort of tests you in a different way than going to Exeter or Newport. So you've just got to be mentally right each game that you play. And as I say, sometimes you win games that you don't expect to win and lose ones that you think are nailed on. So just because we played fancied teams at the beginning doesn't mean that when we play the unfancied teams that we're going to get results. So we've just got to make sure every time we go out there, if we give everything we've got, then we know we'll get the results.